郑炳宏教授。郑炳宏教授是不是已经进来了？OK， 我们今天稍等一下好吗？我们看看郑炳宏教授，还有我们的来宾傅佩芬会长，看看哦。OK， 傅佩芬会长已经在线上了，谢谢。好，OK， 好的，我们的郑炳宏教授我们也上线了。OK， 那我们就把时间交给我们今天的主持人，谢谢。
Okay, so the following event is going to be conducted in English. Good morning, everyone. We're really happy to have you join us here today for the special film screening of the award-winning film, Letter Number 69. And this is going to be the third event we have this year for 228, following by the previous two events, Over the Rainbow and The Silenced Women. Today's 20 minutes short film will be preceded by a brief introduction and followed by a half an hour long talk from Mr. Ryan Zheng Binghong Jiaosou. And in his talk, it's going to be about defining the history in Taiwanese film and TV series. He will share with us how Taiwanese films and TV series present the history of Taiwan. Today's screening and talk will be conducted freely, free. It's going to be free, virtual, and fully live streamed. But due to the limitation of screening license, so today's screening is only going to be limited for audiences in Germany, France, or the US. The talk, however, on the other hand, is going to be open for everyone to participate, everyone from everywhere in the world to participate. But the talk itself will also be conducted in English. First of all, we'd like to thank our event organizers, Taiwan Verein in Deutschland, FL Berling, and also Philo Freitag Berlin, and also our event co-organizers, Association pour Mozart en Français, and also Younger Taiwan Initiative Gay. And finally, we would like to give big thanks to our sponsors, Overseas Community Affairs Council of Taiwan, and also Taiwan Film and Audio Visual Institute. Now, I would like to invite some of our guests to give us a few words. First, I would like to ask Secretary Zhang Guangjing from World Federation of Taiwanese Associations to give us a few words.
世界台湾同乡会副总会长、主办单位的柏林台湾协会陈会长、郑炳宏老师以及侨界、学术界的先进们，大家好。首先感谢主办单位让我有这个机会来为这次活动做引言。记忆它总是可以让我们回得了家。我们每天可以记得回家的路，是因为我们有记忆。可是人如果失去了记忆，就找不到回家的路了。六张犁乱葬岗这片历史地景，诉说着白色恐怖那段历史的国家失忆。简陋的墓碑、凌乱的现场，加上水土流失的疑虑，更增添保存的困难度。第69信电影创作者林心怡将警示文字档案的失水环家书，运用访谈、坟墓空景、模拟场景以及底片运转等影像元素的画面，透过电影拍摄手法的探究， 反而引发了更多的思考。消失的历史消失了什么？消失的女生消失了什么？历史总是复杂的，或许我们可以不急着去查证历史的谁是谁非，而就只是为这些遗落在历史裂缝夹隙中的死者们找到回家的路。郑炳宏老师曾经指出，台湾短片的拍摄方向若能以个人的故事及情感带入所要呈现的议题，会更能吸引人。很期待郑老师今天讲述的内容，引导我们从更多的角度去察觉消失的女生，激发更多思考的浪花。谢谢大家。
Thank you. Now, we would also like to ask President Fu Peifeng to give us a few words.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Hello, 大家好. Nice to meet you online today. I am Peifeng Fu, Fu Peifeng, current president of World Federation of Taiwanese Associations. Thank you for the invitation today. To be very honest, I didn't really know so much about the main figure of this movie, Shi Shuihuan. I first got to know her name was in the connection with her colleague, who was also accused of the same act and executed with her together on the same day, the lady Ding Yaotiao. Actually, I happen to know another story, also very similar to theirs, for my Chinese classmate in Germany. Her mother, together with a colleague, were also convicted and put to jail for 18 years during the Cultural Revolution in China. In both cases, they were reported by another colleague who was angry with them. The motive was even very similar, surprisingly. A man liked a woman, the woman didn't like him back. So he got angry and turned innocent people in. One was accused of being a capitalist and the other one being a communist. The motive was very simple, but in both cases, a lot of people died. Many families were broken. The mother of my classmate lost a child in jail. And the daughter of Ding Yaotiao was born and raised in prison. And this child had even to see her mother dragged away from her to be executed. Also very similar, both stories were unknown to many people for a very long time. It seems that similar stories happened here and they happened there. They happened in the past and they are happening now, known or unknown. It made me think, what happened? What made them do it? Yes, you may say the regime, and you may say the system, but there were also ordinary men and women behind this system, perhaps just like you and me. I can't help but ask myself, if under the same circumstances, the same stories, would I be doing the same? If some general or some Putin tell us to kill, we would be able to pull the trigger. Knowing the history doesn't mean automatically that we can understand the history, let alone to learn from the history. But knowing the history is definitely the first step. I'm happy to see so many talented artists and filmmakers dedicate themselves to present to us this unknown story through their own interpretation of history. Many thanks also to the Taiwanese Association in Berlin and also in France for arranging this event. I very much look forward to this event and the discussion with you. Thank you.
Thank you, President Fu. Now, on the agenda, now we are supposed to give like a short introduction for the film, and So that's what I'll be doing now. So about the film, letter number 69, and it has gained multiple recognitions among different film festivals, and some of them includes 2018 Doku Fest International Documentary and Short Film Festival, and also in 2016 Women Make Waves Film Festival, Taiwan Competition Awards. And some brief introduction about the film itself. Buried in Liuzhangli Cemetery are 201 victims executed during White Terror. One of them is Shi Shuihuan. In the 1950s, Shi was imprisoned for hiding her left-wing brother behind her dormitory ceiling. During her imprisonment, she sent out in total of 68 letters to her family. The last one, letter number 69, was never sent and was also never finished by the time of her execution. But the things that she didn't get to say are now brought to light. Today's film is a reinterpretation by the director of History Archives. She transforms the victim's family letters onto film reels found in an abandoned movie theater, visualizing the correspondence frame by frame, using a variety of narrative perspectives to recount the once unspeakable story. While daily life inside the prison may appear ordinary, the incessant chattering of sewing machine penetrates throughout the film. An outcry against oppression and injustice, the names of those who were wronged through government brutality and political prosecution, are finally acknowledged through an archive that was once unwritten. And today's film director is director Lin Xinyi. Lin Xinyi is an independent filmmaker whose work often focuses on the reading of multiple texts, historical archives, and artist social practice through the form of essay films. And she is currently researching contemporary ethnographics practice, experimental film, and anthropology. And now I think we have some materials to share with you, like how we can, because today's filming is going to be conducted fully remote, so we do have some instructions for you how to do the remote film screening. So the instructions will, what you're seeing on the shared screen is the instruction, and we are also going to be posting the same instructions onto our chat box on your bottom right side on your WebEx session. So there should be a link that you could click into and a link to the movie, and there's also a account and password, which should give you access to the film. And then after roughly 20 to 25 minutes, we're gonna regroup here again after individual. But if anyone has any questions regarding accessing the film, you can also post in the chat or just raise your hand. this up. But if anyone needs more time, you can raise your hand, and yeah, we can give you maybe like another 5 minutes to finish or something. Okay, then another 2 minutes. Okay, now I hope everyone was able to have a smooth screening experience. And now I would like to introduce our speaker, Mr. Ryan Zheng Binghong. He's a film critic, a film festival programmer, and the author of 2 books. The first being Taiwan Cinema in Transition, In Search of True Taiwan Spirit, and the other one is The Love and Death of Taiwanese Cinema. He was born in Kaohsiung and currently living in Kaohsiung. From 2013 to 2017, he was the short film curator of Kaohsiung Film Festival. He also teaches at Iso University and Donghai University. His film critics are published in the Liberty Times, UDN.com, In Movie Taiwan, Initia Media, Yahoo Movies, Film Appreciation Journal, Literature of the Ceylon Island, the Ceylon Land, sorry. Now I'd like to give the time to Professor Zheng.
Hello everyone. Is the sound is okay? And okay,
Yes.
I'm a bit nervous because I haven't spoken English for nearly 10 years. Yeah, so please forgive if my English enough fluential enough, and I will try to make it clear. Okay, and now I will share my screen. Okay. It's rethinking the history in Taiwanese film and TV series. And first, we can talking about. Let me introduce the Professor Lin Xinyi. She is a very famous independent filmmaker, and her work often focuses on the reading of multiple texts, historical archives, and the artist's social practice through the form of essay films. And actually, in Taiwan, rarely people to watch SF films. Usually, SF film is not showing in the cinema. Usually, SF film is showing like in gallery or museum. And SF film has become increasingly used in film criticism to describe a self-reflective, and then self-referential documentary cinema, the blurs the lines between fiction and non-fiction. And Professor Lin Xinyi, her short films, and it's almost referred to like sex or history and ideology, anything. And when I first saw Letter 69 is 2016, when I was the curator of Kaohsiung Film Festival. And her short film was nominated in the final list of international competition. And finally, this film won a special jury prize. And before we analyze this short film, firstly, we have to know Liuzhangli Cemetery. This cemetery is located among the hills at Xinyi District. And this district is not, and the cemetery is now under the management of the Taipei City Mortuary Service Office. And there are about 365 graves and the tombstones in the cemetery. And 264 belong to political victims from the 1950s of the White Terror era. And you can see this picture. Actually, the cemetery is if you're standing in the cemetery, you can see the building of 101. And in the White Terror victims, it's the number. You can see there is in 1950, there are 44 White Terror victims buried here. And 1951, there are 30. And 1952, it goes to 88. And 1953, it goes down. It's 34. And then until 1971, it's 2. Okay. And this short film, Letter 69, the letter mostly is from the girl in the picture is Shi Shui Huan. And why she is arrested due to hiding her brother and her younger brother. And her younger brother is a left-wing activist. And the title of this short film is Letter 69. However, you will after the screening you will find it. You cannot find Letter 69 because Letter 69 is blankness. Why Lin Xinyi doing this? Why she kept the Letter 69 is blanked? And then let's go back to Letter 68. And it's very interesting. It's a religious word. And then Shi Shui Huan, she is writing in praise of God. It's a quite religious word. And she seems to want to say something. However, she gave up. So only in praise of God. So Lin Xinyi, she has made this film in a very experimental way. Firstly, there is a cemetery scene, and then it's mixed with some drama scene. The drama scene is usually doing with like you can only see the prisoners, her maybe part of the face or maybe her hand, and then she is receiving a parcel from her family or something. And so it's not really drama. It's just trying to doing some act, and then to make you understand how it is in 1950s. And then you can also find there are some interviews, and the sound is very interesting because the interview actually some was narrated by the White Terror prisoners, their family, and then some was narrated by the filmmaker. So there it is an interwoven between past and now. And then you can actually I think the sound in this short film is very impressive, not just interview, and you can hear some film reel running, and then it's usually mixed with some prison labor work. And you can hear the labor work, the sound is buckling. It's just a ding, 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 and then with the film reel running, it's very irritating actually, and make you uncomfortable. And why Lin Xinyi doing this? And then the sound, the irritating sound, and then with the mixed with the image, and make this short film is a bit difficult to understand. And then since the title is Letter 69, so you can see part of the part of the word in the letter, and they're showing on the screen like a subtitle. It's 施水环. Most of them are 施水环's her letter writing to her mother. But we usually she is asking her mother to send some money, and then she can or sending something to the prison. And but however, to the letter 68, she's maybe she has given up. She don't want to do anything. She only pray. And then after the 68, she probably got execution. She is dead. So Lin Xinyi left the letter 69 is blankness. And usually, if we watch short film, watch this kind of experimental short film in Taiwan, it's better to have a disc. Because if you don't know who is Shi Shuihuan, you don't know when what's the period between White Terror, and then you cannot understand what it's talking about. So I think experimental short film is very brave, and then because you can deal with the image and sound in multiple ways. However, if you want to doing some transformational justice, and then you want to define the truth, I always encourage my students. Sometimes they want to make some short films and then talking about history. I always encourage them talking the story and in the traditional theatrical way. Yes, and the story must be very easy to understand. And okay. Okay, so here I am going to share some historical representation in feature films, and most of the feature films is very famous in Taiwan. And firstly, I will introduce the 1982, the new Taiwanese cinema. In 1982, the film In Our Times is a 4-episode feature film, which features 4 young talented directors began what would be known as the new Taiwanese cinema. In contrast to the melodrama or gangster films of the earlier decades, new Taiwanese cinema films are known for their realistic, down-to-earth, and sympathetic portrayals of Taiwanese life. These films sought to portray genuine stories of people living either in urban or rural Taiwan. And due to its honest portrayal of life, new Taiwanese cinema films examined many of the important issues facing Taiwanese society at the time, such as urbanization, the struggle against poverty, and the conflicts with political authority. For instance, after the 1970, after the lifting of martial law, the director Hou Xiaoxian, he is making A City of Sadness. And it's the first periodical film related to February 28th massacre. And you can see the picture, A City of Sadness. It's, and then after 1990s, Taiwan, Taiwan's TV. In the 1980s, Taiwan TV in primetime drama series only can speak Mandarin. However, after 1990s, because the lifting of martial law, so everything is in change. And then there is the primetime drama series. The title is Love, Only Love. And then it's the first primetime drama series speaking Taiwanese mixed with Mandarin. So it's quite a audience rate. The audience rate is really good. You can see the picture is here. And however, you have noticed in 1990s, because due to the high audience rate, so the television company, they produced Taiwan Trilogy. And the Taiwan Trilogy is the all periodical drama series. And then they talking about Taiwanese society change since 1940 to 1990s. It's like and then it's, of course, it's speaking Taiwanese mixed with Mandarin, and it's become very popular. And especially the leading actress Chen Meifeng and the leading actor Long Shaohua, they become the first screen. They become the first star in because in 1980s the television star, usually they only speak in Mandarins, and most of them are mainlanders from China. Maybe their mother or them they from China, and then in 1979 they came to Taiwan. But after the Taiwan Trilogy, it get high audience rate in 1990s. This actor Long Shaohua and this actress Chen Meifeng, they become very famous, and then they become the first Islander TV couple, and then they are very popular and then become a star. And it's very interesting. Although can we say it's it's in a good localization way? Actually not. Taiwan Trilogy is trying to do in some social change and some political history. However, and I always for me it's a bit like propaganda, because it's always dealing with the reconciliation of islanders and mainlanders. They always have conflicts, and then they will shake hands and then become friends. Always like that. And for me, it's not it's a propaganda. It's not reflect the real situation in Taiwan between 1940 to 1990s. And then let us talking about transition of power. Before 2000, the presidential transition, we know 2000, the president election, it goes to Chen Shui-bian. And then 2008, it goes to Ma Ying-jeou. Chen Shui-bian, and then 2016, it goes to Tsai Ing-wen. Chen Shui-bian and Tsai Ing-wen is from Democratic Progressive Party, and Ma Ying-jeou from Kuomintang. And every election win of a different political party, and it also reflects to Taiwanese TV. It's very interesting. In 2000, there is a primetime drama series. The title is 阿扁与阿珍. 阿扁 is 陈水扁, is the president, and 阿珍 is his wife, and the drama series is about their early 20s and then their romance. And actually, I also think it's a kind of propaganda, and that anyway, it's not bad. But however, I always for me, I don't expect to see propaganda in primetime drama. I prefer they dealing some realistic social change. And before the presidential transition of power in 1996, there is the launch of Formosa TV. Formosa TV is the first the Formosa TV is supported by Democratic Progressive Party, then again opposition party. And 1996, the launch of public television service. And public television service is trying to find the third way. It's not clean to Democratic Progressive Party or Kuomintang. They're trying to do some the third way. And in 1996, after the launch of Formosa TV, they produced a TV drama. It's The March of Happiness. It's really a very great film and very poetic, and it's nominated in Ghana's Film Festival. And this film, it brings us go back to 1947 and February 28th massacre. But unlike A City Without Sadness, it's talking about a rise and fall of family in 1947. The March of Sadness is centered on romance, and however, how the February 28th happened, the incident, how it happened, it has a very detailed description. And I also want to introduce Taiwan Lily. Sorry, the picture is very small. You can see my right hand. The Taiwan Lily is the story all focused on the prisoners in Green Island during the 1950s, the White Terror era. You must know the Green Island is full of the political victims, and actually they are really innocent. And the story is it's talking about how these people, they are prisoned in Green Island, and how their family and are they died there. And it's really a very important drama series. However, I remember during when it's launched, when it premiered in early 2000, most people doesn't like it. They think now we have a new president, and then we should say goodbye to the history, and we don't want this kind of historical drama. Okay, and in the early 2000, after the election win of Chen Shui-bian, the Taiwanese TV trying to produce some political or historical film drama series. However, in film industry, the Taiwanese film industry has hit the rock bottom. Yes, the box office is under 1% of the market share, under the 1% of market share, and only romance. People only see romance, and no historical films, and no movie talking about social change. All the movie is about horror and suspension and romance, just like that. Okay, And after 2008, the Ma Ying-jeou has become the new president. And 2008, there is a new film. There is a local film. The title is Cape Number 7. It's quite a box office hit. And the director is Wei Desen. And Wei Desen proved that the local film industry had recovered from its slump. Tape Number 7 was so popular in Taiwan that on November 1st, 2008, it became its highest grossing domestic film in Taiwan's history. And because the win of the Cape Number, because of the high growth of the Cape Number 7, and then Wei Desen has the budget to produce Civic Ballet. And Civic Ballet is it's focused on the Wushe incident in 1930. Wushe incident is about Taiwan Aboriginal is the resist Japanese colony. And this film it takes I think maybe nearly 500 700 million Taiwan dollars. Yes, and it's also a box office hit in Taiwan. And in 2016, after the president election win of Tsai Ing-wen, and Tsai Ing-wen, she is so far the most president support cultural budget, especially movie. So and of course TV as well. So from 2012 to 2016 to 2022, and we have a variety of TV drama series and movies, and especially periodical drama, and like Sicaro. The Sicaro is it's also a story about original in 1870s, and and also this the magician on the skywalk. The magician on the skywalk is centers on end of 1980s, and it's the lifting of the martial law. But the director Yang Yazhe, he focused on the child who live on the skywalk, and then their love and their happy and their sorrow, and then to he described the social change and a lot of social issues, very detailed. And okay, and as the film critic, I always looking for a movie or TV drama. It's centered on the transformational justice. In 2021, there we have Gold Leaf. Gold Leaf. This drama series is the bring us back to 1948. Yes, and it's a rise and fall of tea factory. Yes, but it's not just talking about how to make a good tea. And actually, it's also about the White Terror. Like some of them, they are involved in the left-wing activists. And then the Gold Leaf is it is so far I think the best periodical drama series in TV history of Taiwan. And in the left side is Island Nation. Island Nation is a new genre. It's talking about the president, and in 1990s, the president actually Li Qingbo, the president, how he faced the influence of China, and then the under-table work between Democratic Progressive Party and the Kuomintang, and now it's going to the third season, and I believe they will goes on maybe the fourth season, the fifth season, and then from end of 1990s, and then talking to and then maybe now they will go to 2030, yeah, in the future. And finally, and I think if we want to talking about history and then open to more people, because most Taiwan people think that they don't want to watch historical film or historical drama because they think it's boring or it's for too much sorrow, and they prefer to watch something make them happy, and the historical film will not make them happy. But however, I think the detention make a good good example. Detention is adapted from a play game, and then they made it in the genre. The genre is horror film. Yeah, so Taiwanese people really enjoy the horror film and the action drama. So if we want to talk in some history in the future, and then we want a young audience be attracted and then watch them, discuss them, and even have more enthusiasm to maybe you become maybe more and more people to discuss them, and then talking about why even become a filmmaker or TV program maker, and then doing more and more programs of historical program. And I believe we have to do more genre films, and then the genre make the story related to some important historical incident, like not just 1947 February 28th massacre, and also like in Kaohsiung incident in 1979, and maybe in maybe more and more instances in Taiwan, maybe during 1980s or 中立事件, and then people, when we put it in a genre, and it become quite entertaining, and young people will will be more interested in the genre. Okay, and sorry, my English is not good enough, and then I hope the short talk is okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Because of time limit issue, so we would like to open the floor for just one question. If anyone have any question, feel free to raise your hand. If not, then I have, I actually have one question.
Okay.
Chris, yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Professor. With as you said, like because of the new administration, there's been more funding for cultural
Yes, cultural
venture. Yeah.
yeah.
Where do you see this going? And in the future, do you think if, for instance, the next election may be another DPP win, they'll continue this trend? Or on the other side, if Kuomintang wins, do you think they will cut funding? And also, I have a question. Do you because do you think for Taiwanese, overseas Taiwanese, do you think we can contribute to this kind of trend of also telling these stories? And how do you think we can also, help with this informing the public and through artistic expression?
Okay, firstly, Wei Desen's Taiwan trilogy is still in production. However, the budget is really too high. Even I think even they can can get some governmental support. However, I think the budget is really high, and because the trilogy is 3 films. However, unless he makes 10 films, and then every film the box office is like happened number 7. So last year he has announced due to the COVID-19, Taiwan trilogy now is doing is suspension. He still did not want to give up it, but he probably will make it to produce it in animation, not real live action. Yeah, just animation. But I'm not sure because after the COVID-19, maybe they can get more sponsors and donations, and then still can doing it, because I really admire director Wei Desen, and I really enjoy the Static Ballet and the Cap Number 7 and even Kano, and he is really trying to story Taiwan's history. Yes, and he's the only person doing this in 10 years continuously. Usually, the director just make maybe one drama series or one films, and then be afraid of the difficulty. Yeah, but director Wei Desen has been working on it since 2008 until now. It's 13 years, and he did not give up it. And then about the government support, actually, even though our cultural budget is really higher than Tsai Ing-wen make it more higher than Ma Ying-jeou or Chen Shui-bian. However, comparing to South Korean, our Taiwan's cultural budget is still is still not much. Yeah, so Taiwanese films now is in change. Taiwanese drama series and film is in change because after 2016 until 2022, and the cultural affair, our government really sponsor and make a big effort to help the films and then television maybe go to like go to film festivals, and then go to France, and go to the even Latin America. Yeah, and then trying to get more let it be the Taiwan how should I say, more and more foreigners know Taiwan story. Yeah, so now Taiwan also have we also have a Taiwan Plus OTT, and then you can watch some Taiwan's program, maybe drama series, and maybe some environmental or some good program there. Yeah, but actually I am not optimistic, but I'm always sad about this kind of things, because in Taiwan TV and either TV drama series or movie, and because Taiwan's our market is not big enough, so we cannot get feedback. We cannot get money back. So TV and TV drama series and the movie, we always need a sponsor from government, and then it's almost every films or every drama series, we always need maybe 10 million Taiwan dollars or 20 million Taiwan dollars. Yeah, so unless you are bought by Netflix or HBO, they can pay you very much money. If not, it's difficult to get money back. So I think Taiwanese drama series, we during the we always ask a question, why we cannot doing the drama series like the Squid Game, like from South Korea, like the kind of stories. Yeah, if we can make the kind of story, we can get money back. Yeah, but I think it's a very long way. But I maybe in 5 years or 10 years, if we keep on doing this, and then government still give us the sponsor, enough sponsor, yeah. If in 10 years continuous, every year regularly give us the sponsor, and then maybe we can tell the story in gradually better and better. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Due to time, so I think we time's up for today's event. In the end, at the end, I would like to thank our event organizers, Taiwan Very High Endorsement Eval Basic Billing, Philo Freitag Billing, and also our event co-organizer, Association for Muslim en Français, Younger Taiwan Initiative DTG, and also our sponsors, Overseas Community Affairs Council of Taiwan, and also Taiwan Film and Audiovisual Institute, for helping us with today's event. And lastly, thank you all for participating, and thank all of our speakers and organizers. Yeah, thank you very much. And have a good evening and afternoon. Yeah. Bye-bye.